Hey guys, we have our GX550 here and we're going to be installing our skid plates. Refer to the PDF if you have any further questions, but let's get started. All right, we've already unbolted it, but the first step is obviously to pull these stock skid plates off, and that's 8 bolts with 10mm heads on them. You just unscrew them all and it should be able to drop right down. All right, here's our full aluminum skid plate set. You should have 3 main pieces and 2 access doors. And make sure to check over the PDF to make sure you have all the provided hardware. All right, to install our front skid plate, we lift it up into place. I'm using a stand, but you can grab a buddy if you need to. And then we'll use the M8 hardware to bolt this up. The 2 front and 2 rear are the shorter bolts, and the middle ones are going to be longer. All right, our next skid plate, the second piece is going to go on. This slip right here slides over the top of this one. Now that we got our holes lined up, we're going to put in our 3/8 button cap screws on. For this third skid plate, this also slides on top of this skid plate, just so it doesn't catch on any ledges. After we've sealed that into place, we'll use our carriage bolts to bolt that on. And we use our longer ones for these 2 outside bolts, our shorter ones for the inside. And the inside also have a provided square washer. All right guys, a quick tip for you on your driver's side inner carriage bolt. I recommend not putting in this outside one first. That way you can get a little more wiggle room. You can pull the skid plate down and get that washer and nut on top of it, because it is a little bit difficult. For this last bolt that we're going to put in, we're going to use our pigtail with a snap-in nut, and we're going to need to bend this tail, and you can mess around with it until you get the right bends in it, and then you can snap off the excess that sticks out so it's not hanging out here. But what we're going to do is we're going to put it through this square hole, and this does have a cover on it, so you can just take a flathead screwdriver and get under it and pry it out. And after you do that, then you can put this in and snake it around, and then just check in this hole right here until you have it lined up. And then we're going to take our 3/8 button head and we're going to put it up through and thread that in. All right, a useful tip while we're getting the skid plate on is to loosely put the screws in or hand thread them in. That way we can move things around and adjust it to get all the holes lined up. Once they're all lined up and we got it where we want it, then we can go through and tighten them all down. All right, this M8 hardware that bolts into the frame of the vehicle, we're going to want to use some anti-seize just to prevent corrosion and help get it out later. For both these access doors, the front and rear one, it's going to use 4 countersunk screws. So we're just gonna install those now. All right, this rear access door does have a bend in it, so make sure you grab the right one, because if you don't, it won't line up. So now that we have the right one, we'll line it into place and bolt it on. All right guys, that's our GX550 skid plate install. If you have any other questions, please refer to our PDF or give us a call, and we'll see you out on the trails.